FIF Sportsman, it's Lamont back with another podcast video, man. Today, we got some NBA news and notes that we need to go over. Obviously we always select a few games every evening. Whenever there's a game that really stands out, we really have to break that game down, kind of talk about the positives and negatives for each team. And so today we're actually going to be doing two separate videos. I felt like both of these games deserve two separate videos. I really wanted to take my time and breaking both of these games down. But before we get started with letting you guys know what games we'll be focusing on today, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to the video if you haven't done so already. We are grinding to 20K. All right, we are getting there slowly. All right, we're going to have a special 20K live event video. So as we're rounding out, getting close to 20K subscribers, we're just going to go live and we're going to rock out live until we hit that 20K subscriber threshold. So I want to make sure when we go hit that 20K, one of our milestones for this channel, I want to make sure that you guys are live with me when it happens. And again, we're going to do this when we hit 50K. We're going to do this when we hit 100K. And I think this is another one of those things that we can continue to do, these annual things. Whenever we hit a milestone, I want to make sure we can share that moment with you guys. So salute to you guys for liking, commenting, sharing all the videos, engaging, really helping this channel get notoriety and popularity across YouTube. But today we're going to be, like I said before, we're going to be doing our NBA film study sessions on two games. I really couldn't pick one game of the day. I think both of these games turned out to be great games. But the first game we'll be talking about is going to be the Clippers Warriors. All right, in our next video, we're going to be focused on the Pelicans and the Charlotte Hornets. I really saw some things that I wanted to talk about, emphasize things for some of the key players. But in today's game, the first game I wanted to speak about, Los Angeles Clippers, Golden State Warriors. Now, the Golden State Warriors just came off a tough loss. They came off a tough loss to the LA Clippers a few days ago on the 6th. And I was curious, and like I told you guys before when I did my Steph Curry video, I said they're going to have a stretch in their schedule where they're going to play, some easier games. Then the schedule is going to get a little tougher. And it starts with these back-to-back games against the Clippers. So with this young Warrior team, I really want to see their ability to bounce back from a tough loss. All right, how do they compete? And what guys step up to assist Steph Curry in getting there? Because the one thing that this Golden State Warrior team cannot rely on is they cannot rely on heroic performances every single night from Steph Curry to keep them in games. All right, now we know Steph is great. We know he's going to do his thing. He's going to drop big numbers. But to have to go out and drop 62 points like he did against the Trailblazers, that's not something he can keep up every single night. So my focus is on what guys are going to step up, because those are the guys that are going to matter for this Golden State Warrior team as they go down towards the end of the season. If they are in the playoff hunt, I expect them to be in the playoff hunt. I predicted they'll be anywhere between the 3 to 7 seed. And the way they've been playing as of late, I definitely expect them to be there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here and get to the drawing board. You guys know how we do. I'm not going to waste no time getting to the footage, but we're just going to get over there to the drawing board. We're going to break this footage down. And then after we break the footage down, as you guys always know, we're going to go over the game stats and talk about some of the key players of the game, all right, and how they fared in this particular matchup. But let's go ahead and get over to the drawing board right now. All right, we got the Golden State Warriors, Los Angeles Clippers, man. And as we always do, you guys know that I'm going to stop it and start it on key moments where I really want to emphasize what this team can do well. And as we see right there, one of the things that the Golden State Warriors really do well is they run that pick and roll. All right. I like how the Clippers spread the offense out right there. And what I do is I want to go back because I was kind of critical. of the Clippers in my last review of them, how their offense looked when Paul George was in. And how Paul George, instead of attacking from the three-point line, he stood in the mid-range. It affected the spacing, and he kind of blew up the offense because he wanted to attack from the mid-range instead of attacking from the three-point line. So I want you to look at this 4-out, 1-in set. This is an aspect of the triangle offense, so I like that they're sticking with this aspect of the triangle offense. And I want to kind of show you guys how they are working to make it better and incorporate it as a mainstay in their system. All right, so what do we have right here? So I just kind of want you guys to see Batum in the corner, Kawhi Leonard here on the wing, Paul George on the other wing, Pat Beverly in the corner. You got your one in Serge Ibaka. This is your triangle. Now, when the ball hit Kawhi Leonard's hands, you need Serge Ibaka to come to. He needs to come to the nail or the free throw line elbow. He needs to get there because that's what creates your triangle. All right, that's what creates your triangle action, and it gives Kawhi Leonard a lot of options. He can run looks that mirror the pistol set, but there are a lot of things that he can do. So for people who are wanting to learn what the triangle is, this is why I say the Bulls were really the innovators of the way basketball is played today with this spaced out 4-out 1-in set. They just attacked differently because they didn't have the 3-point shooters that we see in the league today. But the spacing puts a lot of pressure on defenders to make a lot of decisions. And back in the 90s when they had illegal defense, it really put pressure on guys to be elite individually on defense. And we know going against Michael Jordan, that was next to impossible. Watch the spacing and look how much trouble Draymond has getting to this closeout, especially when Serge Ibaka is bumping him on that as he cuts through the lane. All right, we got Kawhi Leonard attacking. Draymond Green does a terrible job at closing out. Hopefully he recover. All right, and he steps into that mid-range and takes that shot. Now, Serge Ibaka is slightly out of place, but for this mid-range shot, he's where he needs to be in good rebounding position, but Kawhi Leonard knocks down that jumper. Shot by Batum. I love this pickup by Batum. A lot of people were critical of that signing, but when you put Batum in a lesser role and he can just kind of be that 3-and-D guy for your roster, I think it's probably one of the best signings that they made with the cap space that they had available. This has been one of the problems for the Golden State Warriors, man. They've been getting off to really, really rough starts. All right. And I think they're going to need to fix this later on in the season. They got to find a way to get off to better starts. Oubre struggled again today. Kawhi Leonard, tough drive right there. Beautiful, beautiful backdoor cut out of the triangle offense, you guys. All right, beautiful backdoor cut. And again, let's watch how they run it. All right, again, slightly out of place. So again, I wouldn't necessarily say it's out of place, but you guys, you got to understand, really, when you're running the triangle, you're basically isolating one side of the court and you're using 3 guys to score the basketball. All right, now Marcus Morris, he's kind of in the right place. Zubac slightly, he's a little too high, but Morris does a good job of clearing space. Instead of keeping that space in clutter, you can see Morris moving out of the way. I like that. That's really good read by Morris. All right, but Luke Kennard has a lot of things that he can do in this corner. He can come take the dribble handoff. All right, he can stay in the corner and allow Zubac to work one-on-one. Right, but Luke Kennard does a great job of going backdoor out of the triangle offense. All right, and this is why the triangle offense, again, one of the first read and react offenses. This is what makes it extremely hard to guard because it's so unpredictable and it's based on your personnel. Luke Kennard goes backdoor for the easy score. I really loved aspects of the triangle offense when it's ran properly. Wiggins has been playing lights out as of late, you guys. Lights out. Good take by Lou Will, but man, you know what? Lou Will looks like he's lost a step. I'm not for sure what's going on with him. He just hasn't been playing with the same intensity that we've seen him play with in the past. And Pascal's been a matchup nightmare for bigs. He's been going right at bigs this year. Really, really putting bigs, especially teams with one big, in foul trouble. Morris, good turnaround. And we see the Clippers up early, 37-22. All right, Brad Wanamaker. Pascal comes right back with a 3. I mean, this guy's improving every single game. He started off the season, it looked as if he lacked confidence. He's gaining it back as he played. Lackluster defense by the Warriors right there. Again, pick and roll defense is key. You got to always be applying pressure. Good pass by Pascal. Damian Lee. This is probably the most important player on this roster to me. Damian Lee has to play well if we want to see the Golden State Warriors making a run in the playoffs. Paul George, great move to get inside. Good contest, but better offense. Steph Curry's been doing a great job. This is one thing that he's so underrated, man. And he never gets credit for this right here. But he's been doing a great job. And this is something that I wish Lonzo Ball would do more too. You know, we know Lonzo Ball's a pass first guard, but one thing I wish he would do is I wish he would set his passes up better. You know, Steph Curry knows that the next pass is to the guy in the corner. He knows that. He knows he's going to draw a lot of attention. But to set this guy up for an even better open shot, watch how Steph Curry just penetrates, gets to the middle of the court, and then kicks the ball out. All right, I mean, the basketball IQ is exceptional. All right, and this is something that a lot of young players, I really wish young players would like Lonzo Ball would pick up on this. And again, he doesn't have to score every time, but if he started to do this more, his passes would be a bit more effective as opposed to just catching it and then swinging it to the wing without making any basketball moves towards the rim. And this is just a subtle move. Get inside the lane, and Curry knows the whole time that he's passing this ball, y'all. Curry knows the whole time that he's passing the ball, but he knows his name is also Steph Curry. Look, he's commanding three guys. He's commanding the attention of three guys. All right, and these types of passes with no hesitation give guys like Mulder confidence, especially going in later in the season. This is what gives them confidence when they know the best player is a willing passer. All right, and this is one of the things I love about Curry's game, and this is one of the things that I think Lonzo Ball and guards like Lonzo Ball really need to implement into their game, as opposed to just trying to run the offense so perfectly that you're not playing the game naturally. Great drive and kick by Steph Curry. Mulder, one of the more elite shooters on this team. I like his game. Steph Curry, man. Steph Curry, lights out today, y'all. Lights out today. Steph Curry, 9 of 14 from the three-point line. Unbelievable shooting. Pat Beverly pressure D on Curry all day. Good take by Curry. Love how Curry wastes no time getting to the rim. Doesn't play with the ball. Serge Ibaka. Love that pull-up shot. And Paul George sometimes seems unstoppable, man, when he really wants to be the go-to guy on offense. Beautiful offensive set ran there. Again, good contest, better offense by Paul George, man. And is it just me, but I just think James Wiseman is just still adjusting to the pace and the speed of the NBA game. I think he has all the tools. I see too many flashes. I think he's just still adjusting. I mean, he's played what, 9 NBA games? He didn't play this many college games last year. Kawhi Leonard with the jumper. All right, this is the start of the third. You know, we see the Clippers have swelled the lead up to 20 almost. Steph Curry is about to activate, you guys. Hits that three right there. Great take by Paul George. This is where I thought the game was over. I'm not going to lie. And, you know, this is similar to the Clippers when they played Denver. about this same time, about this same spot. But this is where the Clippers get lackadaisical. And I'm going to break this down for you right here. Remember I told you guys their defensive woes. Their defensive woes do not start with perimeter guys like Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Most of their defensive woes start with their bigs lacking a lot of defensive IQ. And I want you guys to see how Zubac just completely just gaffes on this defensive assignment and gives Steph Curry a wide open three. We're going to take it back just a little bit here just so you guys can see this. All right, as Steph Curry's coming across. Now, we see Looney coming for the screen. Now, Looney's coming for the screen. Zubac knows he has no business switching. Zubac should be stopping right there. Zubac needs to stop right there. Paul George needs to be chasing over the screen. And Zubac does not need to get out to the three-point line. And watch what Zubac does. Again, this comes from Lou Williams needs to be yelling at Zubac to stay. All right, because he's not fast enough to switch. All right, he needs to be yelling at Morse to be active and be ready to contest. They're the weak side. They're the ones that need to be communicating. And Kawhi Leonard's right under the basket. He's one of the main leaders on this team. He needs to be talking to Zubac right now. He needs to be yelling this out right now. This is one of the reasons why the Clippers cannot maintain leads. Watch how this play develops. Now, what is Zubac doing? What is Zubac doing outside of the three-point line? All right. What is he doing outside of the lead line? Now, I know Steph Curry rejected the screen, but if Zubac doesn't take his ass out to the three-point line and he stays at that elbow, he would be right there right in front of Steph Curry to contest that three-point shot. All right. At least he would be there to contest. Now nobody's there to contest, and you're leaving Steph Curry to a wide open three. All right. We know Paul George is not going to give max effort to chase him down. All right. Looney setting a solid screen to knock Paul George off his route. I mean, this is a great IQ play by Steph Curry, but it's really the defensive errors by the Clippers here that create this particular issue. And it all starts with guys like Kawhi Leonard, Marcus Morris, who are on the court now, not communicating with Zubac on how to properly guard this pick and roll. And that's what the great defensive teams in this league do. As great of a defender as Kawhi Leonard is individually, team defense is not his forte because he's not a vocal leader. This is where I have to criticize Kawhi Leonard, because the end result of this game is ultimately going to fall on him. And it happens, and it starts with plays like this. Now Zubac is left to try to chase down this Steph Curry shot. But, by the time Steph Curry gets into his shooting motion, it's too late if you're not already there to contest. And he knocks a three down. Now these are the shots Steph Curry needs just to catch fire. Horrible foul by Paul George. All right, Golden State's cutting into that lead. Great cut. Hold on 1 second. Now, again, 1 second. Now, I'm gonna break this down for you again, and this is why I say off ball. This is where Kawhi Leonard falls asleep. All right, as far as great of a defender as he is, this is one of his biggest flaws, and this is why I put this loss on him, because a lot of the defensive errors fall into the hands of Kawhi Leonard, not either communicating off ball or not being active himself off ball. All right. And this is a play right here where Kawhi Leonard, all he needs to do is he needs to just bump the cutter off his route. I know he has two guys to cover on the weak side. All right. Now, look, Zubac is still, this is defensive error by Zubac. Zubac should never be guarding Steph Curry out on the three-point line like this. All right. Especially when the only help defense that you have in the post is Lou Williams. If Steph Curry wants to, he can ISO Zubac, take him straight to the rim, possibly get him in more foul trouble. And we know Lou Williams has no defensive acumen to stop Steph Curry at the rim. All right. But Steph Curry, unselfishly, what does he do? He moves the ball. Okay. Now, while Kawhi Leonard is right here pointing, all right, everybody else is doing their job perfectly. All right. Everybody else is doing their job perfectly. We have, I think this is Luke Kennard right here, he looks like he's moving Wiggins, so that's not an easy pass. You have Lou Williams taking Mulder in the corner. You have Zubac stand on Curry out here. All right. It's Kawhi Leonard's job now, because he's the farthest away from the ball. He needs to bump a cutter off his route. He needs to communicate to Morris to pick up Looney, and then he needs to make sure he's covering this Kent Bazemore out here on the weak side. But obviously Kent Bazemore out here on the weak side is the least of your worries. You can always get out and close out on him if the ball swings. All right. Now watch how Kawhi Leonard blows this defensively, you guys. All right. This is where the Clippers struggle. All right. Great individual defenders, but as far as communicating and playing off ball, they're horrendous. Now, what is Kawhi Leonard doing? He's not making any effort to cover Looney. He didn't communicate to Morris to do anything. Why Morris is running over here to Steph Curry, who's already guarded, I don't know. And if anything, Morris needs to be yelling at Zubac to drop, all right, and maybe drop into the paint to cover Looney because he has Steph. No communication at all, and watch how this play develops. All right, Morris didn't communicate to Zubac. Kawhi Leonard didn't communicate to Morris. Kawhi Leonard didn't give any effort, all right, to bump the cutter off his route. And now, while Steph Curry is cooking, you're allowing guys like Looney to get easy baskets at the rim at a crucial time in the game where the Golden State Warriors are making a big time run. Easy dunk at the rim. Now you have a lot of people looking at themselves, pointing and blaming each other. Now, Kawhi, again. Kawhi, great defender. And I'm not even going to put this all on Kawhi Leonard, because when Steph Curry gets ahead of steam, you got so many things to worry about in transition. All right. I'm not going to say Kawhi Leonard should have got that stop. But again, it's about transition defense here. What is Luke Kennard doing? All right. Luke Kennard should have been standing in the lane. All right. Communication, if you're yelling it out, Lou Williams can cover Pascal in the corner. Kennard needs to be in the lane to take that charge. Nobody's willing to sacrifice their body, all right, to stop the ball. Nobody's making an effort to stop the ball. And that's what coaches will always tell you. Stop the basketball. Transition defense everybody needs to get back. All right, look, Kawhi Leonard, is he stopping the ball? You're talking about one of the best individual defenders in the league. Steph Curry is lights out right now, and you are not stopping the ball. This is the player. I mean, this is the defender that you want to stop Steph Curry. And what does he do? He puts up little to no resistance to stop the ball. I mean, if anything, you can just foul him to stop the play. All right. Horrible defense. Horrible defense. Now he's at a disadvantage. All right. Luke Kennard is standing right here under the basket. All he has, Luke Kennard has plenty of time to step over in for help. All right, but you got Lou Williams who can cover the corner. What does Luke Kennard do? Nothing. What is Kawhi Leonard doing? Got himself out of position because he couldn't get into a stance. And Zubac's obviously still trailing the play. Layup. Now you're giving the hottest guy on the court from the three-point line easy layups. Steph Curry in transition, and this is what that turns into right here. All right, when a guy like Steph Curry can see the ball go through the basket with layups, now you have a nightmare trying to guard him right here. Again, another, and I want to pull that back too, because again, this is, I told y'all, this falls on Kawhi Leonard, hey guys. Nobody's communicating. Nobody's communicating at all for the Clippers. All right, and look how easy it is for Steph Curry to get into the lane and score his layup. All right, and leaders on the team, and again, this should be another charge, because you got Lou Williams here protecting the paint. All right. But what they've done is they have 4 guys on Steph Curry. Now they have one of the Warriors' best three-point shooters in the corner here. And they've just gotten themselves all out of sorts. And it starts because they continuously have Zubac playing above the three-point line for whatever reason, y'all. Come on, man. Clippers, man. I mean, what's the sense of having a 7-footer if you're continuously going to have him above the three-point line out of place? Tyronn Lue, these guys should know this. This is not something that you have to even teach. These guys should be knowing this. But because there's no emphasis on defense, because they don't have a defensive culture or defensive identity, this mistake with Zubac being above the three-point line, leaving the basket unprotected, is happening over and over and over again. And this is why teams can mount epic comebacks against the Clippers. No rim protection. Curry waltzes down the lane for a layup. Ends the quarter. Bang. 3-ball by Steph Curry. Now it's wraps. Steph Curry's on fire now. We know what time it is when he catches fire like this. Damian Lee. This was one of the plays right here that told this is another play that tells me that they have no leadership, at least no player leadership in the locker room. Because one of these players, somebody needs to be yelling at Paul George and Lou Williams right now. All right, somebody needs to be on him because again, the Warriors have mounted a comeback from being down 20. Steph Curry kicks the ball across court to an open shooter, and not a single Clipper went out to contest the shot with ample time to do so against Damian Lee, one of the better shooters on this team. And it's sad that I got to keep going over these remedial type plays, very simple defensive plays that the Clippers could stop if they just gave effort. All right, swings it across. All right, so when the ball's in the air now, Paul George needs to be sprinting to the corner. And they need to be communicating to Lou Williams to pick up Pascal there. And everybody needs to be playing help. Because the guy that doesn't need to be getting worried about right now is this guy over here, Mulder, in the corner. He's now weak side. The ball's in the air. Paul George needs to be in a dead sprint there. Look at the effort that Paul George gives to get to the corner. All right. None. Terrible effort. And he's shaking his head, blaming teammates. Good take by Paul George. See, this is the value of having guys like Eric Pascal on your team who's strong enough to play the center. All right, and he's just putting Zubac in. I just feel bad for Zubac. I feel it's bad for Zubac because whatever defensive philosophy that this team is instilling in him, they're just putting him on island and putting him in bad situation after bad situation without any help defense behind him. And this is how the Warriors mounted this epic comeback. All right, I'm gonna bump this back for you. I'm gonna bump it back for you. Just a second. All right, we're gonna find Zubac well above the 3-point line again. All right. This should have been a switch with Lou Williams. You know why this should have been a switch? Because Zubac is the big and Lou Williams is the guard. He can stay with Pascal. He can contest that 3. But no communication. Paul George is looking away. You see Paul George's eyes. He's ball watching. You see Morris's eyes. He's ball watching. You see Luke Kennard. He's ball watching. All right. And Lou Williams is not even seeing man and ball. He just has a hand up running through the lane. That should have been a switch. Zubac needs to stay in the paint, Clippers, and watch what happens. Now Zubac has to come out to the 3-point line. He can't guard out there. All right. I mean, he's in a decent stance. He's in a no middle stance, but he's not playing D. What Lou Williams should have did, instead of chasing Mulder through the lane, Lou Williams could have at least stayed on the low block right here. He could have stayed on the low block and had Paul George pick up Mulder cutting through. No communication at all. They don't have any defensive communication. Look at this, y'all. And Lou Williams puts up no effort to stop that. Lou Williams, that has to be a hard foul. He's a vet. He knows that. That has to be a hard foul. You give up a layup, and now you guys are really in trouble. The game is tied up now. All right. And this is what surprised me most by the Golden State Warriors, because the players that actually put in the work to really put the Warriors in a position to win this game was the bench. All right, Brad Wanamaker, Eric Pascal, Kent Bazemore, Damian Lee, Mark Mulder, Michael Mulder, these guys did a great job. Everybody on the bench today for the Warriors had a positive plus minus. Eric Pascal plus 21, Kevin Looney plus 10, Kent Bazemore plus 16, Brad Wanamaker plus 6. Damian Lee, plus 22. Michael Motor, plus 27. Everybody on the bench had a positive plus minus. Everybody on the bench in a tough comeback game. This is what the Golden State Warriors need to be able to be a playoff team that can actually win a playoff series. These bench guys have to be able to show up. You cannot rely on the starters all the time. When Steph Curry and those guys go out for a rest, you got to rely on these dudes to come out and either cut into leads, maintain leads, or sustain whatever you already have going. Zubac again, stuck out on that island. You know, with this small lineup right here, Tyronn Lue, I don't know why you don't have Serge Ibaka in the game. Zubac cannot play against this small lineup. He can't. Oh, the classic Lou Williams floater in the lane. Nice little floater. The Warriors have the lead at this time. And Pascal's going right at him with no help. Do I need to show you guys how many times guys drive in the lane against Zubac and he has no help? What Zubac needs to just start doing, he just needs to start fouling. He just needs to start fouling. Because nobody on his team is communicating with him. Nobody is helping him. At all. I'm going to take that back again. I want you guys to see this. Okay, so I think this is Lou Williams in the corner. Lou Williams is strong side. Lou Williams cannot help. This cannot be help from Lou Williams. All right, so I don't expect Lou Williams to help. Lou Williams has to stay strong side corner. The help needs to come from Morris or Luke Kennard. Morris or Luke Kennard. That's where the help needs to be coming from. All right, especially if you know your big, who can't stay in front of anybody, is now on the perimeter against a guy who's been blowing by him all night. Nobody's talking on this team, y'all. It is completely sad how these guys do not communicate on defense, and it shows. All right, this is one of the reasons they got beat by 50 by the Dallas Mavericks. Look at this, no communication. Look at the effort. Look at the effort. This is not Paul George's help. It's Morris Sr. or it's Luke Kennard. And these two guys need to talk to figure it out. It should probably be Morris Sr. because he's the bigger body. Right? He could test this layup a little bit better. And Luke Kennard's faster. You know, he can play the pass and cover either pass. Either way, they're in a tough situation, but at least give effort because you never know what can come out of effort. Just completely, you know, I don't, like I said, I don't understand what type of defensive philosophy that this team has. All right, but the one thing that I see here is they do not communicate at all on D. It's completely terrible. And a layup right at the rim. Y'all see what I'm talking about? Y'all see how confused this team is defensively? And I'm not trying to take anything away from the Warriors because the Warriors played a great game. I'm just really emphasizing why the Clippers are so bad defensively and why they only win games off of sheer talent. No. Serge Ibaka is doing exactly what he needs to do. He's yelling to Luke Kennard to do what? Switch onto the shooter because Draymond Green hasn't made a three-pointer in the last 2 years. Luke Kennard, why are you hugging Draymond Green above the three-point line? And you have one of the smartest defenders in the league telling you to go guard the ball, Luke Kennard. Did you just get $70 million, Luke Kennard? Listen to the best defender on the court. What does Luke Kennard do? See, Serge Ibaka knows it's his job to stay in the lane. He's pointing to you, Luke Kennard, because Draymond Green is the worst offensive player on the court. Who cares if he gets the ball right here? Luke Kennard, Kent Bazemore's hit a few threes already. Go guard Kent Bazemore. Doesn't do anything. Bang. Look, what is Luke Kennard doing this? Look, Luke Kennard's doing this like he don't know what's going on. Luke Kennard, you completely blew that. Look, what is you doing? Who else can you blame but yourself? All right, and this only stems from because they don't communicate at all. When they do communicate, nobody listens because they're not even used to doing it. 97-91, Golden State's up now. Good corner three by Luke Kennard. At least you made up for it somewhat. Love how Ibaka spaces the floor. Now that surprised me right there. Brad Wanamaker just with the pull-up three right off the dribble. This surprised me right here. This just has to be one of the ones where he just had to be feeling himself. Maybe this is a shot that he practices all the time. Maybe this is a spot where he knows this is his spot. Wanamaker pulled up. You know, I don't blame Beverly. I can't be mad at Beverly for this. You got to shake his hand on that one. I didn't know he had it in his bag like that. Okay, now I want, even though Kawhi Leonard makes the shot, I want to show you the difference between how the Warriors play D and they stick to good principles as compared to all of the defensive gaps and problems that I showed you with the Clippers. I just want to show you guys this right here real quick. All right, now Steph Curry coming off this screen. Steph Curry knows he cannot guard Kawhi Leonard on a switch. All right, he knows that. So they've already talked to their players. They already communicate this. Chase over everything. Chase Kawhi Leonard down. And what Curry does is Curry knows that he has good help D behind him. So watch what Curry's able to do. Curry knows this is not a switch. He chases over. And the only reason Wiggins can chase over is because he knows he has Draymond Green right here under the basket ready to help him out if Kawhi Leonard drives all the way to the rim. And look how quick Draymond Green. This is just giving effort. This is something right here. What he's doing, never going to show up on a stat sheet. Never going to show up on a stat sheet. But they played defense perfectly. It just happened to be better offense. But look at Brad Wanamaker. Brad Wanamaker shaded over. Damian Lee shaded over. They're not worried about the three ball in the corner because they know they can go out there and close out. It's just great defensive principles because this is a culture that they've tried and worked on to develop. It's all about Draymond just giving a little bit of effort. But you know, if Kawhi Leonard misses this shot and they get the ball and go down to this court and score, it's because of Draymond just giving simple effort that nobody will ever give him credit for on the defensive end because he cuts over to help. Steps over and help. Kawhi knows he has to pull up. Great offense, though. But it was great defense. Great defense. Another three. Batum keeping him in the game with the three. Steph Curry misses the shot. Wow. Whew. Just giving effort does a lot, y'all. The take. How do the Clippers bigs find themselves always on the perimeter in some type of switch? Tyronn Lue, why are you switching your bigs off onto guards like Steph Curry on the perimeter instead of having them chase him off the three-point line and keep your big in the paint? All right, the Clippers really need a lesson on learning how to ice screens. All right, icing screens, which means the big just kind of stunts, but he stays in the post. All right, you guys need to learn that ASAP because y'all big switching them out on the perimeter is not working for y'all. Okay, look, Curry, what is this? What is this? Why? Kawhi Leonard, why ain't you over here? Pat Beverly, why ain't you switching? And you know who the help D is supposed to come from here? Paul George. You know why? Because Nicholas Batum can cover this corner pass. That's why. Nobody's communicating, no. All right. Pat Beverly's in between two people. The only thing he can really do is either pick up the ball all the way and get dimed off to Draymond, or he just got to play in between. You know who the help responsibility here is? Paul George, who's not stepping into this gap. Right? Because they don't know how to communicate to Nicholas Batum that you got corner if he skips it to the corner. They don't talk on D, y'all. What the hell is Paul George doing? Paul George backpedals away from Steph Curry. The most important thing on the basketball court is the basketball. And he backpedals away from the basketball into a corner where Brad Wanamaker's already relocated and left. Jesus, man. This is why we say NBA film study, y'all. We really break this down. And the reason I break this down, because I don't want y'all to think that I just be talking. All right. When I talk about the Clippers defense, these are actual things that I can show you on film. All right. And I guarantee you, if they continue to play defense like this, with this same principle, they're not going to last in the playoffs. They're not going to beat anybody in the playoffs playing defense like this. All right. And if you're not practicing it in the regular season, then how are you going to hit the switch and just do it in the postseason? Paul George. No effort, Paul George. Completely sad. Jesus. You let Draymond Green look you off like that, Kawhi Leonard. On top of the fact that your rim protector is on the three-point line. Like, why do you even have Serge Ibaka on this team if you're going to have him out on the perimeter and pick and rolls with Steph Curry? Why? And I mean, I know the Warriors are really smart with what they're doing, but Tyronn Lue got to say, look, we got super energetic guards who can give effort on D. We got length on the perimeter. Serge Ibaka, you just have to sink back in the paint every time, or you're just going to get absolutely murdered. All right? Because Steph can pass the ball, y'all. I mean, I don't know if the Clippers forgot. He can pass the ball, y'all. You can't just double team Steph and think it's going to be sweet. He can pass the ball. Y'all should have learned that from Jokic last year when he bopped y'all out of the playoffs. Y'all can't just double team players and think that ain't going to be no repercussions to it. Especially when you double a team in with your goddamn center. Looks him off. And this is just a great shot. He just said, "Come here, Paul George." That's all he said. And why in in-game situations? I don't know what is it about this spot on the court. But Paul George just be getting work. This spot on the court, and whenever Paul George gets in this spot on the court, in this exact spot, he just needs to foul. Because this man be getting completely embarrassed whenever he defends anybody, especially a smaller guard, from this spot on the court. Now, he has great no-middle stance. But I don't understand why he's in a no-middle stance. And he ain't got no help deep. Why are you in this stance and Kawhi Leonard ain't going to step up and help? You ain't got nobody who can help if he drives. Why are you in this stance, Paul George? This Clipper team ain't even ready for that. I don't know. Man, come on. Well, we know what Steph Curry does to just go ahead and dust these dudes off. Come here. Time to go home. Paul George. Man, what a game right there, man. Again, I just wanted to break that footage down for you guys, man, because that is completely crazy right there. The defense that we saw, man. The final score of the game is 115 to 105. Golden State moves to 5-4 on the season after that rough start. Some really bad losses, man. They found a way to bounce back. All right, Wiseman's getting better every single game. I mean, Draymond Green has helped Wiseman grow light years. I love it. Kelly Oubre struggled again to shoot the ball today. 0-3 from the three-point line, 2-7 from the field. I'm not worried about Kelly Oubre. He's going to come out that slump. If they can continue to win games and Oubre's playing bad now, I'm kind of glad. Oubre, get all them bad games out your system now. It's not going to last for the whole season, I promise you. Kelly Oubre, you know that too. I'm sure you've been in one of these funks before. All right, Wiggins, great game. 5-10 from the field, 2-5 from the three-point line. Steph Curry, man, 36 minutes, 13-24 from the field. 9-14 from the three-point line. 38 points. All right, so Wiggins dropped 16. Eric Pascal off the bench, man. 5-10 from the field, 2-3 from the three-point line with 12 points. But they did it by committee. Looney with 2. Bazemore with 6. Wanamaker with 8. Damian Lee with 8. Michael Motor with another 6. I mean, Draymond Green with 4. But, man, we saw how at this point in time, I don't care about how many points Draymond scores. You got to have that man on the court. I see too many things that he does positive that fan, like, there's going to be a lot of people that just want to trash Draymond's game. They won't give him credit for some of the stuff that I pointed out in this video. This is why Draymond Green got $100 million. All right. That's why. All right. James Wiseman, 9 points, kind of a quiet game, but he's still getting integrated, only 15 minutes. And again, James Wiseman's only struggling now. I want you guys to really think about this. He only played like 4 to 5 college games. Before that, he was playing against high schoolers where he probably didn't even have to give max effort to drop 40 on those dudes. And now he's in the NBA playing at a faster pace, speed. Guys are bigger, faster, stronger. And he's doing pretty good adjusting. So I like how they're slowly bringing him along. Looney's doing a great job. Draymond Green's doing a great job of helping him out, putting him on that fast learning curve. By the time the playoffs hit, I think this Warrior team can be lethal, man. The Warriors, man, shot the ball really well today. They shot the ball really, really well today. 48% from the three-point line, 48% from the field. Great game. The Clippers, man. The Clippers, you know, they didn't shoot the ball horribly. They shot 48% from the field, 45% from the three-point line, 84% from the free throw line. But they can't get any scoring from their bench. They have nobody on their bench that they can go to. I mean, Luke Kennard gave 8, Lou Williams gave 6. But this comes from a Lou Williams who was averaging close to 20 points a game last year. I mean, where did your game go, Lou Williams? Or is the offense changed up that much that you don't have an offensive role anymore? All right, Paul George with 25, Kawhi Leonard with 24. Those guys drop points, but defensively, these guys have no communication. All right, they have no sense of team defense. They have no urgency on defense. They have no effort on defense. The only two players out there giving effort on D is Nicholas Batum and Pat Beverly. Ibaka's trying as much as he can, but when Tyronn Lue continuously sends his bigs out to the three-point line, putting them on islands against some of the best guards in the game with players who don't communicate, it's just a recipe for disaster. So the Clippers got a lot to figure out. Golden State, man, big win because they're going to be going on a tough stretch of games. So any game that they can steal out of this tough stretch of games to boost these young guys' confidence, especially while Kelly Oubre's playing bad. Hey, I like what I'm seeing from the Golden State Warriors. So you guys, let me know in the comments what you think about this particular video. Let me know what you think about this particular breakdown, all right? Let me know what you think about the Clippers defense. What can they improve? Did I miss anything? All right, just let me know, because when we go live, we're going to be talking about a lot of these things right here because I love breaking down the finer aspects of the game. All right, so you guys can see. And again, if I miss anything or if I miscall anything, I don't care. You guys let me know when we go live and we can talk about it. All right, but we got another video coming up. We're going to be breaking down the Charlotte Hornets. in the New Orleans Pelicans game. I think that game was very important. Obviously, you got the two brothers going head to head, so I think that's deserving for the first time of them going against each other. I think that's well deserving for me to really speak on that game and also kind of break it down, talk about what went wrong and what went right for both of those teams, man. But hey, it's been another great video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to the video if you haven't done so already. Again, we're grinding 20K subscribers. Cannot wait till we have that 20K live stream. Again, when we get to about, I would say, when we get to about 19,900 subscribers, we're gonna start that. We're gonna start that live stream. We're just gonna stay live until we hit 20K. We're gonna have the live counter on the screen, and we're just gonna stay live until we hit 20K subscribers. And again, I want to share that moment with you guys, so we're just gonna go live, chop it up on sports until that moment actually happens. Hey, but this FYF Sportsman has been another great NBA film study video, the original NBA film study video, and the original NBA film study champs over here. Don't go for the fake ones. You know, there's other people perpetuating themselves to do NBA film study. Make sure you come to FYF Sports Only, man. We do it the right way, non-biased. We really break down the game, and we really call out players where they need to be called out. All right, no exaggeration, no gimmicks, no getting out of pocket or calling people out their names. We do it the right way over here. Hey, but it's FYF Sportsman. Has been another great podcast episode, and we out.
Out in the morning, try and get to it. I'm a road runner. Plug on to me, gotta get him off. I'm a road runner. Been took the risk cause I gotta eat, I'm a road runner. You see all this money, all my pockets full, I'm a road runner. Out in the morning, try and get to it, I'm a road runner. Hook on to me, gotta get him off, I'm a road runner. Been took the risk cause I gotta eat, I'm a road runner. You see all this money, all my pockets full, I'm a road runner. Can't set a weight, gotta get to it. Plug throwing loads, always run through them. Ain't talking money, I'ma ignore them. Stack money, check my stats, I perform. Road running, switching states like I'm torn. Everything foreign, hopping out foreigns. Always been awkward, never did the norm. Bippin' trying win, then I go record. And taking breaks, gotta get it all quick. Going pick up drop offs like lift. Listen, now my game plan to get rich. Shooters on deck, know the haters set. Face high stakes, came through in the clutch. Put on work, never thought giving up. Run it wrong, then my shooters gon' bust. Risk it all, that's why I got drug my nuts. Ayy, got money rolling, pockets swollen, diamonds frozen. We bring them hoes in.